A man's personality and character is exuded through his haircut. Your image is important. Our high-end services range from a traditional haircut and shave to gray blending, beard shaping, and unwanted hair removal. Located at 425 Victoria Avenue East. Book your appointment online now at modernmen.ca or call Tammy, 306-522-4111. Modern Men, a haircut for the modern man.
Hello, I'm Sean McNall, owner of TG Marketing. We are a promotional product company located in Regina, Saskatchewan. Originally founded by Tom G. McNall in 1985, we are now in our 35th year of business. My brother Ryan and I, along with our great staff, have carried the torch since Tom retired in 2011. For those of you who don't know what we do, we sell items with a company's logo on it, like clothing, pens, phone chargers, Bluetooth speakers. The list of products available is endless. Our products are a great form of advertising. Whether you want to give a gift to a valued client or show your appreciation to your staff, we have a friendly team that can help find the right product for your needs. The key to our success has been our customer service and our vast knowledge of products in our industry. We ask the right questions to get you in line with the proper product for the project you are working on. Stop by 1046 Winnipeg Street and view our showroom. Get some ideas for that next promotion you're working on. Let's make your business what everyone's talking about.
Now,
ta-da! I'm living proof, baby. Miracles happen.
How about that?
You laugh, Alan, but Google's bailed me out of a lot of things. I'm telling you, I had muscle cramps. It said eat walnuts, almonds, and bananas. I've been eating them like crazy. No cramps. Who needs doctors when you got Google?
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Welcome, everybody, to a Flame Tech Football Friday. Settle in, and get ready for some fun. We got Moose Dupont here in the bunker. How you doing, Moose?
Doing well.
We got John Frenzy coming up here in Block 2 for the rest of the program today. I got up this morning. I've had a tremendous morning, and I'm like, it's not like I don't feel like going into work, but I feel like I'm ready for the weekend. I'm ready for the fun to start.
Yep.
So let's just start it now.
I'm in.
Okay. And I see that the comments are pouring in already. Part of the reason this morning was so great, we might as well throw it up right now to our viewers, if you don't mind. I wake up in my inbox, my mentions on Twitter, from Pizza Pops, which I've been in love with since I was about 11. See that? You know what's amazing? You, Rod. From Pizza Pops, the verified account. Can you believe it?
That's pretty awesome.
How about that?
How about that?
It goes back to like a month ago where I was just randomly eating Pizza Pops. I'm like, I'm going to tweet how great these are.
That was a month ago?
Maybe 2-3 weeks, maybe a month at the most. But it was going back a ways.
I thought the original tweet came this morning. I didn't look close enough.
No, they just happened to open their Twitter for the first time in a couple of weeks. It's all these notifications from me. So it has brought about the poll question today. Let's jump into it right now. For Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center, what's the best flavor of Pizza Pops? 4 options: pepperoni and bacon, deluxe, 3 cheese, or Hawaiian. And I see somebody yelling Hawaiian back here. Stop it!
It's a landslide.
Yeah, pepperoni and bacon is a landslide on Twitter with 62%. What are they saying on Facebook?
Same.
Similar?
Oh, yeah.
And a former Patson Spokane Chiefs goalie by the name of Sean Flemwad, who's now an eye doctor, here in town. He says, man, you got to try the Hawaiian pizza pops. I'm like, no. And he's like, no, great change of pace. And when you've eaten too much of the other, just try this for a while. I'm not ready to move off deluxe and pepperoni bacon.
I couldn't believe, and I can't believe, just looking at the mentions, the comments, how passionate people are about pizza pops. I couldn't, I love them too, but I can't buy them because I'll eat 4 or 5 at night in the middle of the night. But, I mean, people dip them in ranch. Some people deep fry them. You bake them, you microwave them. I mean...
Many ways to consume a pizza pop.
Oh, yeah.
Jason in Red Deer's watching. He says, I voted for pepperoni and bacon, but only because bacon, mac, and cheese wasn't on there. Those are really the best. I'll take your word for it. I'm sure it's coming to a Costco freezer near me. Just a more reason why we're loved in Winnipeg. Like, I might just lock, stock, and barrel move to Winnipeg. Mike K writes in, he's watching on YouTube. He says, fun fact of the day, pizza pops were invented in Winnipeg. Yes, in 1962, sold to Pillsbury in 1984. I could go on. I'm a big pizza pop aficionado, but let's get serious. Coming up on the program today, John Frenzy, you hear him laughing off the side of the set. Justin Dunk from 3Down with all the latest CFL news. Paul Laberge is walking from Lloydminster to the sweatpants capital. That's about a, 5-hour drive?
Yeah.
He's walking it. And he's joining us today. He's raising money for a sector of mental health. He's going to be joining us today. It's lined up by my good friend Greg Bucky Buchanan, broadcasting legend there in Lloyd. And Ryan McCarthy is joining us from the No Credentials Required podcast in New York State, Saratoga, Albany area. There's news out of the Albany NLL team there. So that's who the guests are today. Let's go to the quick 6 show topics, please, here in the warm-up. Thanks, Director Jordan, because we've already wasted 5 minutes talking about not nothing, but mostly pizza pops. Let's get serious, because it is a Flame Tech Football Friday. And number one, global draft leftovers. I got to call this up here. We all know that Jake Ford went number 1 overall to the BC Lions, the punter from Australia. He thanked us for the nice words on the show yesterday in the coverage.
Yeah.
News flash to the TV networks. It's not that hard to do live coverage of a draft. We did it yesterday. Not that hard.
Pretty easy.
And I'm trying my best to take this seriously. Like the Rough Riders here taking German running back Christopher Azila, Norwegian punter Kari Vedvik, South African kicker John Henry Nell, and Finnish receiver Sebastian Sagni. I'm taking it serious because it's serious to them. But today, in the Regina Leader Post, the columnist there, Rob Vanstone, the legendary Post media columnist, just eviscerated the Canadian Football League, saying this is a joke, it's a waste of time. Former and current players doing the same thing on Twitter. And I'm sitting there going, I'm trying to just be positive about the CFL. In a lot of ways, they don't make it easy. And then Rob goes on to say, and some media is going along with this joke of a draft, right? Going along with the act. And he gave 4 or 5 points of what the CFL should be talking about rather than this. And I'm just like, well, it's nice that I guess I'm not the only one saying it here. RV's joined the train. Where are you on the seriousness of the global draft? Yeah, it's as serious to those guys.
That's what you said, right? You're like, it matters to them. Pretty big day for those guys, and I agree. I think that matters. I think the significance of the draft overall isn't high. I think these players could have been invited to camps and earn spots in the teams, and away you go. But what are we really out by having it? Like
you're not out anything, but But the guys, the way I read it on Twitter from the current and former players, and even Vanstone's column, it's like the Make-A-Wish Foundation, like the dream kid that gets drafted. You know what I mean? Has no chance of playing.
That's it.
But we're making a dream come true here by drafting somebody from New Zealand.
I know, and when we think about the guys who got drafted, he's probably going to come and kick and be well. Like he might play, he might be the starting kicker.
Punter.
He might have that ability. He's got the skills. He's played NCAA. So we're seeing some transferred skill sets, and we're hoping this crop of global players is better than the last year's. But you're right. And he talks about the Ryder lineman, 31 years old, sitting on the sidelines, called him an ornamental piece.
Statue. Rennie Bracia.
Yeah. Like that we can't have. That doesn't help.
Well, you're going to have it. That's the whole idea of this initiative is they can't play now, but if we keep bringing them in down the line they'll be trained that they will be able to play. But I got a tip this morning that the Riders' top 2 picks, and I just read them off, German running back Christopher Azila and Norwegian punter Kari Vedvik aren't coming because, well, in the case of the punter from Norway, the $54,000, he's like, not worth it. 3-year contract, it's not worth it. Which goes back to the business of the CFL. If you guys can find a way to get the money to the players, we wouldn't have these issues. So everything all ties in here, not necessarily good. It's like Vanstone saying this is a joke. Well, let's talk about what's real here. Are you going to play or not? Are you going to make money? We're told there's a huge CFL leaders conference call Zoom meeting today. Who knows what they're going to talk about? But I guess the crux of what Vanstone's saying and what a lot of people are saying is this isn't what should be your priority right now. And they just want to, hey, bait and switch. Which we've been saying that for a long time.
I know, we have. And on the one hand, there hasn't been a season canceled yet. It hasn't been paused officially. It hasn't been delayed. So have your global draft because it's business as usual. But surely you hear the questions on Twitter. Surely you hear the uncertainty from the Players Association. Surely Solomon Elamimian and the association is banging down your door being like, give us some answers. We want to know. Cancel the season already. Push pause. Do something. But if you think you're going to play, it is business as usual. But the fact is, people are asking for answers. We just want some answers.
There's no doubt that it just feels like the CFL is trying to distract you with certain things like the global draft and the Canadian college draft when people want answers. And Dunk's going to talk about that coming up next segment on what the latest Ontario Sport Minister, Lisa MacLeod, has had to say about a CFL return to play, because quite frankly, it's true. If they're not playing, none of this other stuff matters. And everybody knows that. Point 2 was the rider holdouts, the tip that I had today, that those guys aren't interested in coming for what the CFL is paying. So take that for what you will. Point 3, we haven't spent any time on this, and I'll spend some more with Lynch, and I'll probably drop it on Dunk too. Trevor Lawrence, the number 1 pick in the NFL draft coming up next month. Or I guess, no, next week. Woo! Time's flying. He's going to Jacksonville. Did you see his interview this week where he said, I don't have a chip on my shoulder like a lot of the other guys. I don't have a chip on my shoulder. I'm not. He also said, as far as the Super Bowl, he's like, it's not the be-all and the end-all to me to win a Super Bowl. He's being ripped apart by the analysts for saying that. You don't have a chip on your shoulder? What? Winning the Super Bowl at all costs isn't a priority to you? What? His dad had to come out and say, no, what my kid meant was he's not awards-driven. He drives himself every day, not for the carrot at the end of the stick. Is it a red flag to you? Because it was to a lot of people that he would say this.
Yeah, as a football player, it is. I like the quality in the human being, right? That this is not awards driven. The guy who's not driven by money is driven by growing the organization, and that's the fulfillment. I'm not here to get a paycheck. I'm here to provide good entertainment to you on this show. That's the motivating factor. But no. You want to win Super Bowls. You want to be the best in the league. That guy who looks up at number 1 and says, I'm coming for you. Yep. That's the guy you want to be scared of, right? So, yeah, it's a little disheartening to see it. It's a little concerning.
I just voted for pepperoni and bacon by accident.
What were you going to vote for?
I'm thinking I should have voted for Deluxe for the best flavor of Pizza Pop. I love Clark says I got the right call. Once the vote leaves your finger, dig in the box. Okay, Thursday NHL leftovers. Watched some of the games last night. Are the Winnipeg Jets the number 1 team in Canada? They beat the number 1 team in Canada. That must be the number 1 team in Canada.
That was suggested to me.
By who?
That there should be a championship belt going around. And when you're number 1, you hold the belt. But the second you lose, that team gets it, right? And and you got to find out who can carry it around. That's what should have happened in the Dub Hub. That's where it was suggested to me for the Western League, because there won't be playoffs. Of course. Yeah, they're the number 1 team. Right now, they just knocked off the Leafs.
Okay.
Now, the Leafs have won 2 out of 3 against Winnipeg. The last 2 out of 3.
How about that?
But they didn't win last night.
How about that?
The Wings clapped the Blackhawks last night, and the only reason I put that in there is because we had the guy writing in from the States saying, hey, Rod, should I put some change on Detroit beating Chicago? We're like, no. Then they go and do it 4-1, so. And the Wings have won 3 in a row.
Our segments for Come On are going to be great. But it's going to be whatever they say, do the opposite.
Oh, I know.
And that's okay, too.
Dustin Tokarski gets the win in goal for the Buffalo Sabres. He's the pride of Watson, Saskatchewan. It's his first win since his father passed away. Watson, Saskatchewan, just up the road. You've been through there, right, Lynch?
Sure have, several times.
Home of the world's largest Santa Claus.
That's right.
So I put a Santa emoji on my leftovers.
Watson,
you driven,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watson, Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
You're making me doubt myself.
No.
Did I put Watrous?
That's what I'm like, wait, did he say Watrous or Watson?
I said Watson. You think I don't know this stuff?
No, I know you know this. But I almost said
What's my heart rate?
I almost said home of the Winterhawks. That's why I was like fact-checking
Wolseley?
myself. That's Watrous. The Watrous Winterhawks.
Wolseley.
Guess it's
Don't get
both.
me. Don't get me down.
Guess it's both.
According to my Fitbit, my heart rate's 935 beats a minute.
Where's the AED?
It's actually up to 73 and dropping.
That's great.
What else? Watson strong. Taylor Hall got his first. He looked good. Actually, he looks really good for Boston. Even the other night when he didn't score, he looked good. Mm-hmm. And you got to see the highlight of the Crosby goal, which you saw, right? He's burning by the bench with no stick. Trainer leans out and gives him a stick, and he goes and scores. That's unbelievable
It's on
stuff.
our Instagram story if you haven't seen it.
It's on our Instagram story. Go follow it at Rod Pedersen Show. Are you ready for the top 5, bottom 5?
I am.
It is Friday, of course. National Hockey League top 5. Keep your comments to yourself. Number 1, Colorado Avalanche.
Yep.
No doubting there.
No doubt.
Hottest team in the NHL, winners of 9 of their last 10, and the most points. Number 2, Carolina Hurricanes. Number 3, the Tampa Bay Lightning, who Carolina just beat.
Yeah.
And don't put any stock in the last 2 nights' results, by the way. But Colorado 1, Carolina 2, Tampa Bay 3, Washington 4, even though they got clapped by the Sabres last night. Everybody has an off night, right?
That's right.
And the Leafs, I still got at number 5. Okay. Sorry, I didn't put the Jets in there.
It happens.
Ready for the bottom 5?
Yeah.
Number 27, the Columbus Blue Jackets. What a shame.
I know.
Number 28, the Calgary Flames. Tire fire continues. 29, the Anaheim Ducks. I'm sorry to their scout, Bruce Franklin, who's a close friend of ours. They will have better days ahead, but they're not good right now. The 30th team, and I hate to say it, the Ottawa Senators, because they're so exciting to watch every night, but your record is what you are. Who says it, Lynch?
Me.
Exactly. Lynch says it. And the 31st team, nobody argues it, is the Buffalo Sabres. Will they get the number 1 pick in the draft? That is the question. Hey?
Oh, yeah.
And my 6th point, quick 6, is the weekend, is the weekend look ahead. I see we don't have a hockey game to broadcast till Sunday at 8 p.m. What are you going to get up to besides eating pizza pops and... Yeah, there's still snow on the ground around here, so...
I know, right? So there's not going to be much to do. It's going to be great. Kick the feet up a little bit, and I think I'm got to play some video games this weekend. The SJHL, our junior league in Saskatchewan's having a NHL
Is that this weekend
21.
already?
It starts today.
Wow.
I still don't own a PlayStation. So I got to figure out how to get my hands on a PlayStation. They're crowning the best NHL player. They're doing a competition, and it's a fundraiser, so I put my money in to play, but I've never played the game yet, and I don't own a console, so I'm working on getting my hands on a machine, and that's what I'll be doing this weekend.
I won't be playing video games, but I'll be watching a lot of hockey, eating pizza pops, and NASCAR. Jason in Red Deer says, how are the Flames 28th in a tire fire? They just won 3 in a row. Because I said so. That's how. My list. Trevor Bazzillo in Winnipeg. The Jets are stronger without Wheeler than the Leafs are without Matthews. I'm crossing out the Leafs and putting the Winnipeg Jets in the top.
Ooh.
Should have done it. Yeah, should have done it all along. The warm-up is brought to you by the Four Seasons Sports Palace. Order a fabulous Four Seasons pizza this weekend and your favorite beverage for takeout and delivery. One-stop shopping, call or order online. Four Seasons Sports Palace. I got breaking news from the Dub, just came into my phone too. And big news. And Justin Dunk is in next. So we got a lot going on this Flame Tech Football Friday. We'll be right back. You're watching on Game Plus TV, YouTube, and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports talk for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com. Listen live.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
If you could spend less time in the field, more time with your family, and make more money at the same time, would you do it? Verge's farm operations planning technology eliminates unnecessary turns, improves in-field communication, application accuracy, and reduces deadheading. Finish fields faster, burn less fuel, and use fewer inputs, all in one simple-to-use, web-based solution. Do more of what you want, when you want, with the people you love by subscribing to Launchpad by Verge today.
IKS Live. IKS Live. Western Canada's premier production services company. LED sign rentals. Video production. Event management. Look no further than IKS Live. Visit our website. IKS Live. Always the best seat in the house. IKS Live.
Direct West has been the bridge for me from not dealing with social media or digital presence to having a presence. You have to take the leap of faith, so to say, and I'm glad we have. Direct West has helped us out immensely to get our presence online as far as digitally and also with the social media page. To see the results is just puts a smile on your face.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
Hey Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Hey, honey, can you get one of the kids to show me how this Twitter thing works? Honey, I need to get on Instagram. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Canada's daytime sports talk show continues. This is episode number 465, and we're coming to you from the bunker here in Western Canada. I mentioned that we had breaking news out of the Western Hockey League, and we do. Brandon Wheat Kings general manager Darren Ritchie has been hired by the Toronto Maple Leafs as amateur scout, and he's been replaced as general manager of the Brandon Wheat Kings by Doug Gasper. That just came down this morning. Doug Gasper is the former Moose Jaw Warriors director of scouting, also worked for the Vancouver Canucks, Prince Albert Raiders, and Nipawin Hawks. So thank you for the tip from the Wheat Kings on that. They've got a new general manager this morning. I'm just checking. You guys let me know when the Dunkster's ready to go. He's good now? Okay. I just want to say the poll question today for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center is, what's the best flavor of Pizza Pop? I voted pepperoni bacon on Twitter, but I evened it out by voting for Deluxe on Facebook. So the universe has corrected itself. Ready to talk football, Lynch?
Certainly am.
Okay, pull that mic in.
I certainly am.
Let's go to Southern Ontario now and bring in Justin Dunk from 3DownNation.com, almost 24 hours after the global draft. How you doing, JD?
Doing well, guys. What about you?
Well, we're doing great because we're talking football today. We're ready for the weekend. We've got a lot of questions have come in from the viewers for you, Justin. And before we talk about maybe the real news in the Canadian Football League, the most important news, what's your takeaways from the global draft yesterday?
Lots of punters, man, to be quite honest. Specialists out there. The most intriguing player in the draft to me, guys, was Samus Reyes, who was picked by the Toronto Argos, but was recently signed by the Washington football team for a decent commitment. So to me, that's the main issue with this program. I understand where they're thinking it could lead to, but with the NFL's International Pathway program, it's going to take the top-end global players potentially out of the mix.
Yeah, that's the tough part. And I got news this morning that the top 2 Rough Riders draft picks likely won't be in training camp if there is one because of the money's not palatable to them. What does this mean dollars and cents wise for these global players? Is this going to something that's going to permeate throughout these global players?
Well, that too, Rod. If you're considering, let's say, players from Europe, for example, the euro was worth much more than the Canadian dollar. So you're going to give up your life over there to come over here and play for $54,000 Canadian. To me, it might not make a lot of sense for every player, but I'm sure there are some players that want to go down the avenue of playing pro football.
Justin, John Lynch here. Just wondering one thing. What do you think about this crazy global draft? I mean, to me, it looks pretty silly and not realistic without much of a future. Because most of the guys they're drafting are 28 to 33 years of age, so they're not going to develop for very much more. I just find it a waste of time. It doesn't make sense to me. What's your thinking?
I'm a little bit there with you, Lynch, and I'll give you a quick example. I played in one of these leagues that the CFL has now partnered with over in Germany. Germany is still, I believe, seen as the top football playing nation over in Europe and maybe even around the world, outside of obviously Canada and the United States. So I played in one of those leagues, and a lot of the guys on my team were, as you said, older and guys that had full-time jobs and did it, to be honest, for fun. I was fortunate to go over there, get paid a decent salary, had all my flights covered, had meals, everything, my phone, my car, my place that I lived. We had a gym membership. So it was a fun way as a young kid to go over there, play some football, and see the world a little bit. But as for the level of play, it's solid in the first division, and I'm just speaking to Germany. But when you get down in the lower divisions, it really falls off. And the reason that I say it's solid in the first division is because you have imports from other countries playing. Most of those are American. I sort of tried to change the narrative as a Canadian. There are other guys that have gone over there before me and after me as well. I got my team, the Starnberg Argonauts, to really like the Canadians. I couldn't wear a C on my helmet, though. It had to be an A, which I didn't like. But just to put it all in perspective, I played in these leagues, so I've seen that the age is tilted older. They do love American football in pockets over there. There are fans of the NFL over there that will stay up in the middle of the night to watch games because of the time change. But I'm having trouble seeing that the investment could actually pay off. My thing is, take $1 million and invest that in grassroots football in Canada. And what could you see from that? I think it would be a much better investment.
There are more global questions coming in from the viewers. We'll come back on those. William May is watching in Lloydminster on YouTube, and he says, can anyone explain to me why the CFL asked for a loan the same way they asked a year ago with the same results? I don't get it. Can you lump all of it in? You've been on this story, the federal funding story, plus Lisa McLeod, if you don't mind, her comments this week, the Ontario Sport Minister, what this means for the CFL in the future.
For sure, and I'll try to tell it as concisely as I can. In terms of the people I've talked to within the federal government, the CFL didn't come and ask for an interest-free loan again, but they did go and ask for what money could be available. The federal government, again, pointed them in the directions of programs that they have out there for every other citizen in the country. There have been some that have been added since last August when the CFL's give us $30 million or nothing in the form of an interest-free loan was denied. So there are other programs out there that they could access. They're talking with the federal government about that. There are people that feel like the federal government, on the flip side, hasn't given the league any money. But you look at the Winnipeg Blue Bombers financial report for last year in 2020, They collected over $3 million from the government, 2.9 in the form of the Canadian Emergency Wage Subsidy, which Montreal Alouettes president Mario Cecchini is asking to keep going so that fixed cost or that fixed number can still come in for CFL teams. As it relates to Ontario Sport Minister Lisa MacLeod, I was on a media availability with her, asked her the only CFL question. She flat out said, and was honest about it, that Ontario is not in a position to sign off on return to play. Just yesterday, that would be Thursday, April 15th, the province announced a single-day record high of COVID-19 cases in the province, over 4,700. The modeling looks pretty scary here when you look in the short term. Now, that's obviously modeling and not the real numbers, but it makes a lot of sense why McLeod said, hey, we're not going to risk it and put people out here if we don't feel it's safe to do so. And Roddy, real quickly, people will say, well, the Maple Leafs are playing, the Senators are playing in Ontario, and obviously teams across the NHL, but they're testing every single day and have strict protocols. And I don't necessarily think the CFL would be willing to invest to that level to get through on the health and safety side.
You take as long as you need because we're all following your lead. That's why we brought you on here. And so I guess, because I know for a fact, we're not talking to the same people, but our reporting is similar. We're just talking to different people, I think. What does this mean for a 2021 CFL season? And how are you on the merger talks? We haven't even got into that yet. Or would we ever see an NFL Canada thing? Like, why are we fighting with these guys? So where are you on the future? Well, actually, this season and then past this season for the CFL.
All right, so we'll start just on 2021. And I think McLeod's comments really show that the season is going to be, let's say, delayed or postponed. There's some in the league that still feel like, well, we could play a full 18-game schedule. I just think as the days go by here and we see the case counts, especially in Ontario and BC, and those seem to be the two outstanding provinces, that the season is inevitably going to be delayed through no fault of the CFL's own. That's the key issue here, Roddy, is that as much as the CFL might want to get back on the field, it's really out of their control. As for the XFL, you keep hearing that there's going to be some sort of an announcement in the future that might clear up some of the details around this. Now, the league knows they're not going to get, let's say, $30 million interest-free from the federal government. So can they go elsewhere in terms of Redbird Capital to help potentially get them on the field in 2021? I've heard, Roddy, that there has been discussions in these XFL and CFL meetings with regards to 3 downs and 4 downs. Maybe they play 4 downs on a Canadian field. Maybe they play 3 downs on an American field. These are just ideas that are being tossed around because they're exploring every single avenue. As for NFL Canada, I'm going to try to hit all your points here. That's not something that is being discussed right now. I really get the sense that Roger Goodell is looking at Canada and specifically Toronto as a market that they covet, but there has to be a stadium. If there's a way, cough, cough, Larry Tannenbaum, to get a stadium in Toronto, then I think an NFL team could follow.
We are hearing the same things, but I think we're talking to similar people, but it's things are lining up. It seems to me that the way that they're going. Now, we've had a lot of comments lately about the CFL playing in America this year. Some guy just wrote in and said, wait, why not go to Yellowknife? Very few COVID cases. Larry in Medicine Hat said that. It is the testing, as you said, Justin. It's the getting 55-ish players, maybe 45 to 50 per team in a bubble, and paying for that. Plus, they're not looking at the bubble. It's not happening. I've stopped talking about it, but I think people still think that it could happen. It's not happening.
It's not. No, I'm with you. I've heard no talk of a bubble whatsoever.
Frenzy's got more.
No, I've heard from a very reliable source, and Justin, yesterday, that we won't play football in May or June, but quite probably the last part of July and certainly in August. And we will play football this year. And this is a very top-notch man who you know. I can't give you the name, but he's very certain about it happening. Now, we hear this every day. You go back and forth every day. So what do you think is going to happen? I mean, I'm disgusted the way things have gone so far.
And that's the tricky part, Mr. Lynch, is that people have the projections and their best laid plans of when they want to get on the field. And we saw what happened in 2020. Really, the virus is going to guide us because, as Rod and I just said, they're not looking at the idea of playing in a bubble. So that means they want to play in their home stadiums, which means you have to have sign off from every province. And then you need to go to the federal government and so show that you can do it in a safe way. So until we get some clarity there in terms of the case counts coming down and the vaccinations really rolling out, then it's hard to put a timeline on anything. The CFL can have an aiming date, let's say, when it might want to kick off, but until we actually get sign off from all the provinces and to go ahead from the feds, then it's really hard to put any certain timeline on a potential kickoff.
I got two last questions for you. So we just pray that the vaccinations are going to happen. As you know, I've got mine. Lynch has his, but we're old, Justin. But we could be playing CFL football in 2021. So that part is exciting. And who knows how many of these global guys are going to show up. We've got a May 4th CFL Canadian College Draft. So your thoughts on if we do get rolling here? Well, the question was from Nelson. How was this year's global draft different from last year's? Did you see it different in the type of players, the age? What was the difference in this year's draft from last?
To me, the quality honestly seems a little bit better, but until one of these players, Roddy, really breaks through and makes an impact, I struggle to see people, let's say down in Australia, goo goo gaga all over a punter being picked first overall. I get the excitement of it, but until they make an impact, and especially at the skill positions, then I don't think it's necessarily going to make an impact. I'd like to see us go in a different direction in terms of the CFL draft, the Canadian draft, let's say, and have some sort of mandate where quarterbacks need to go high and be developed. If there is a Canadian quarterback in this league, we all know how much that gets talked about, how much hype that creates. That's something tangible that we know for sure would generate interest in our country.
Hey, I promised I was going to ask you this, and I almost forgot. Just spitballing, what's your thoughts on Trevor Lawrence's comments that he doesn't have a chip on his shoulder and he does not, winning a Super Bowl doesn't drive him to win at all costs? How much of a red flag would that be for you, and should it be for the Jacksonville Jaguars?
We know he's a driven guy, and the chip on the shoulder I just don't like as a cliche, because Trevor Lawrence has played football his entire life. We've seen how driven he is. He wanted to play through having COVID-19 if they would have let him on the field. The guy is ultra talented. He's potentially viewed as, in NFL circles, a generational type quarterback, or a quarterback that only comes around once every decade. So I would have no reservations if I was the Jacksonville Jaguars and Urban Meyer about taking him number one overall.
How do you think he'll get along with Urban Meyer? Because Urban has historically had some problems in Florida and in Ohio State with his quarterbacks, but he's been a winner. He's a winner, and that's all there is to it, and that's why Jacksonville hired him, obviously.
But Lynch, he's been a winner at the collegiate level, in the NCAA, and at power schools where, and they don't want to talk about it, you can give out those envelopes and you can entice those top recruits to come to your school every single year. It's much different in the NFL, commanding that locker room and the respect that you have to have. We see with Bill Belichick a lot, I feel like, in New England. He doesn't always yell, but when he yells, you know he means business. So Meyer really has to prove himself, just like Lawrence at the NFL levels. To me, I look at it as they're both rookies going into this situation in Jacksonville. Maybe they're a little bit lucky. It's a market that's not as highly covered as, let's say, New York. But Meyer really needs to prove himself just as much as Lawrence, because as I said, at the NCAA level, especially when you're with those front-running schools, it's easy to entice talented recruits to come to your school every single year in and year out. But can Meyer actually do it at the pro level and lead those men who have made that transition from young men to real men playing pro football?
We're going long, and I hope you don't mind all the questions, but the fans are enjoying talking to you, Justin. Chad Isaac.
Keep it going.
You good? Okay, Chad Isaac says, Justin, who do you think will have a better season, Fields, Jones, or Lawrence? Can I tweak that and say who will have a better career, Mac Jones, Justin Fields, or Trevor Lawrence?
Ooh, well, we're not even talking about Zach Wilson in there.
Yeah, he's not even in. Well, the Jets are going to kill him, so... Probably ruin his career like they tried to do with Sam Darnold. All of them. Who's going to end up being the best out of all that bunch, out of those four?
To me, I look at the situation that they potentially walk into, and I think we make the mistake of, obviously with Trevor Lawrence, looking at him, as I just said, this once-in-a-decade type player, because Jacksonville doesn't necessarily have the people around him that you would want, because I said Meyer needs to prove himself and the playmakers around. So whoever the quarterback is, I think that goes to the San Francisco 49ers, teams up with Kyle Shanahan there and John Lynch. We've seen the roster that they've been able to build with Jimmy Garoppolo will have potentially the best career out of all of these quarterbacks, whether that's Mac Jones or Justin Fields. There's been some speculation that maybe they really like Trey Lance, but they traded up to that spot at number 3 to pick a quarterback. So I think it's less about the talent. And you mentioned it, Zach Wilson going to the Jets just seems like they're going to ruin him because they're going to play him right away. I don't understand why they traded Sam Darnold away, to be quite honest. But anyways, I think it's whoever the quarterback goes to the 49ers.
YouTube viewer Hussey's Huddle says, Dunk is the best. Well, we agree, Hussey's Huddle. Justin, we are out of time, unfortunately. Thanks for this. Loving your coverage at 3Down. Keep it up. Or as we've affectionately called it around here, 3Dunk Nation. I hope you don't mind. Thanks for joining us, Justin.
Thanks very much, Justin.
Appreciate you guys. Lots of us on the site, but man, appreciate keeping locked to it. And Roddy, you've been doing a great job yourself over there with the RP show.
Thank you, buddy. The CFL's top insider, Justin Dunk, joining us from 3downnation.com. We'll be back with a sports update, viewer takeover. Lots coming up today. It's a Flame Tech Football Friday on Game Plus TV, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports talk at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Working with my family has been great. My mom and dad have taught us the importance of hard work. I've been here since I was 10 years old, and my dad has taught me a lot about quality work.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Capital Ford Lincoln is Truck Nation. Looking to buy your next truck or sell your current one? Capital is Canada's truck destination. Shop online or in-store to see the new 2021 Ford F-150, Ranger, Escape, and more. Right now is the best time to lease or finance a new vehicle. Can't find exactly what you're looking for? Let us help by sourcing your vehicle from our dealer network or custom ordering one that is perfect for you. Capital Ford Lincoln is Truck Nation, 1201 Pasqua Street North in Regina.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Direct West provides us with stats and analytics, and it's amazing for us to look and see that, each year we're 10 to 20% higher on our Google leads. It's great to see the success that our locations are having. The Direct West app gives us an opportunity to be in one place for people to find any of our locations or our commodities. Without Direct West, we would have to be in multiple digital places. I would recommend Direct West. They're great to work with.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming at the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Did you know you can catch all the best moments from the show on all our social media platforms? Now, back to the studio with Rob.
Welcome back, everybody. We're going to turn it over to the viewers in a second, but first, a sports update. Nikolai Ehlers and Kyle Connor both scored twice as the Winnipeg Jets beat the Toronto Maple Leafs 5-2 at Scotiabank Arena. Winnipeg is now just 3 points behind Toronto for first in the Scotia North Division. The Jets were playing the second of a back-to-back after securing a season split in the nation's capital against the Sens. They finished their 5-game road trip at 4-1. Hence the question, are they the top team in Canada, the Winnipeg Jets? It's a trick question because it doesn't matter who's the top team in Canada right now. You know that, right, Lynch?
That's right. But they are a surprise team.
Oh,
I don't think
they are.
Anybody figured they'd be up there?
You know who is also a surprise team? The Calgary Flames.
Oh, very much so. The other way.
For how crappy they are. Yeah. In the Dub Hub, Rhett Reinhardt recorded his first career hat trick, and Cohen McGuinness stopped 20 of 21 shots as the Saskatoon Blades beat the Regina Pats 4-1. Pats have dropped 3 in a row without their rookie superstar, Connor Bedard. Maximilian Paddock kicked out 45 shots, including 21 in a lopsided second period, as the Prince Albert Raiders handed the Warriors of Moose Jaw their third straight defeat, 2-0. Sebastian Casa stopped all 30 shots he faced while staying undefeated in 12 starts. The Edmonton Oil Kings blanked the Lethbridge Hurricanes 4-0 in Leth Vegas. Drew Sim only had to make 16 saves for his first career shutout, and Justin Sordiff scored the first of 4 straight goals as Vancouver blanked Victoria 4-0. Jacob Junis ran his consecutive scoreless streak to 14 innings as the Royals staked him to a 7-run lead, and a shaky Kansas City bullpen held on for a 7-5 victory over the Toronto Blue Jays. Vladdy went deep, and he finished a triple shy of hitting for the cycle, as a matter of fact. The Ottawa Blackjacks of the CEBL announced today the signing of 6-year pro and first-ever CEBL draft pick Joel Friesen, 6'5" guard from Abbotsford. He's played 216 games as a pro in Canada and the Ukraine, and he played collegiately at the University of Alberta and the University of Fraser Valley. I can't wait for the CEBL season tipping off end of May, start of June. This sports update for the Tap Brewhouse and Drive-Thru Liquor Store, and for Red Bull Canada. Red Bull gives you wings. Oh, I know. You missed it off the start. Shooters Shoot Basketball Podcast is watching, and he says the Red Wings won 4-1 last night. I know they clapped the Blackhawks, and I'm apologize. I hope you put money down on it, and I hope you won some money on your Detroit bet. The Wings have won 4 in a row. 3 in a row. Jim Wagner writes in on the Prairie Mobile text line, and you can too at 306-840-8777. Prairie Mobile is your authorized SaskTel mobility dealer. He says, happy Football Friday, all. Always worth waiting for Friday to see Papa John. That's you. And he says, great poll question. The poll question is, what's the number 1 flavor of Pizza Pops? Pepperoni bacon, deluxe, Hawaiian, or 3 cheese. And running away with it on Twitter and Facebook is pepperoni and bacon. But I voted for pepperoni and bacon on Twitter, deluxe on Facebook. So I got it all covered. John Frenzy's here, Hall of Fame Rough Riders broadcaster. Lynch, what did you take away from the Dunk interview?
Confusion. Things are not set up the way we should be. Still nothing settled. Big conference today. Wonder what's going to happen today. That's one a week, isn't it now? Big conference?
I have no idea.
Yeah. It's not settled. It's not settled at all, and it's debatable whether we're going to have all 9 teams in. I don't think we will. So it's going to be a compromise choice, a compromise situation. I didn't get too enthused about it. My call last night was a much more enthusiastic one.
That was 2 nights ago you got that call.
2 nights. Oh, you're right, 2 nights ago.
From a secret source, but a big-name source.
That's right.
Who he guaranteed you the CFL would play this year, right?
Yep.
I just don't know. I'm being honest here, which I always am, and I don't know how you can guarantee it. Like, for instance, every night in our house, when my wife goes to bed, I put it on channel 24, which I affectionately call the COVID channel, for my wife. And she drifts off to sleep. And I go downstairs and finish my blog and do everything that I hadn't done for the day. And last night, I guess it would have been about 10 o'clock, I think, ish. Lisa LaFlamme, CTV News said, the worst day of the pandemic ever. Peak COVID numbers in Ontario. And she ain't lying. She's not lying, right?
Nope, telling the truth.
But I'm like, it feels like a hint of sensationalism there, the way she delivered it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, why? How are we sitting here talking about a season with it's getting worse? She's like, it's at the worst stage in 13 months, the pandemic right now, the worst stage. The difference is now we have vaccinations we didn't a year ago, but how are those being handled? Go ahead.
I talked to people in Alberta the other day, and they're in the same situation we are in Saskatchewan. It's the worst it's ever been. So, yeah, it's not good. Not good. I mean, they're far away from settling and stopping and having a quiet time and returning back to norm. The norm's a long way away. Where is he?
Negative normies?
Yeah.
William May and Lloydminster says, you can say we're playing, but the government can stop everything. Well, isn't that the $64,000 comment? And that's why to talk about positional groups and power rankings and a draft just feels like so much make-believe to me right now. And it's cool that the teams execute daily business, but I'm just not buying into it until I can see them on the field. That's all. Listen, when we come back, we got a lot of American viewers. Harry Schlitz, can you please tell me where you are watching from, if you don't mind? He's an American who loves the CFL rules and loves the CFL, and he has some thoughts on where we may be going in terms of a merger. Thank you, Harry. Let us know where you're watching from, if you don't mind. We'll be back with Viewer Takeover. You're watching the RP Show, Flame Tech, Football Friday on Game Plus, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports talk at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Direct West has been the bridge for me from not dealing with social media or digital presence to having a presence. You have to take the leap of faith, so to say, and I'm glad we have. Direct West has helped us out immensely to get our presence online as far as digitally and also with the social media page. To see the results is just puts a smile on your face.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding area since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Capital GMC is your used car destination. We're overstocked and priced to move, so shop online or in-store to get the best deal on any one of our massive selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. Every certified vehicle includes the balance of manufacturer's warranty, 150 plus point inspection, roadside assistance, and certified exchange privilege. So save the depreciation and buy pre-owned. Capital GMC is your used car destination at the corner of Rochdale and Pasqua in Regina.
IKS Live. IKS Live. Western Canada's premier production services company. LED sign rentals. Video production. Event management. Look no further than IKS Live. Visit our website. IKS Live. Always the best seat in the house. IKS Live.
Introducing Original 16 Hard Seltzer. The refreshing taste of lemon and Saskatoon berry with vodka made in Saskatchewan. New hard seltzers from Original 16.
Send us your opinions now. We won't victimize you unless you really deserve it. Now, back to your host, Rod Pedersen.
Welcome back, everybody. Flame Tech Football Friday. Flame Tech is your industry leader in combustion services. Harry, American viewer watching on YouTube, I asked him, where are you watching from, Harry? He says, Fort Worth, Texas. And isn't that something?
Fantastic.
Fort Worth. I was just listening to George Strait. Does Fort Worth ever cross your mind on YouTube the other day? He's hitting up some of George's greatest hits.
How about that?
Okay, so I'm sitting here. Harry, you got to tell me how you found us. Harry Schlitz, he says, how's that stadium happening? How's it going in Halifax, by the way? It ain't. That's the quick answer. Nelson, our VP of Sim Events, Nelson Hackowicz, in this viewer takeover segment says, in that same breath, it's been great. Between the RP show, the XFL Markcast, Canadian Football Perspective, and a few other podcasts, this is probably the most coverage the CFL has gotten since what? Johnny Football? Continent-wide, yes. I wrote this down because I didn't want to forget it before the break. If the CFL is upset at any of my reportings or anybody's reportings about the XFL potential merger or what's going on, I don't know how they can be. And nobody's called me to rip me, although I turn my phone on and see there's 3 voicemails there. They're probably all from you, Lynch. But I check my voicemails once a week. Maybe somebody's mad at me. I don't know. But, John, what did they expect was going to happen when they dropped this merger? They didn't drop merger. This collaboration idea between the CFL and XFL, and we really haven't heard from them since. What did they think was going to happen?
Canadian Football League fans would be just shocked by it. Shocked.
And that's what's happened.
Shocked, ticked off. Some are happy about it. Think it'd be great. Hey, I got to be honest with you. A lot of people out there think it's great. The younger guys, the old guys like Lip and me and Shepard, we want to say the way we are. We love our Canadian Football League, but you can't be like that and never change in any aspect of your life. I know that. But I would say they would accept it if it's going to happen. If they know it's going to happen, they'll support it and hope it turns out well, because we want to keep that stadium going, eh? We got a beautiful, fantastic stadium right there, as I've told you before. And It's only been around for, it's 4 years now. It's only been in action for 2. So, I mean, we got to really do something to get that place busy. That's why I'm really surprised that more of the top business people in Regina and the government haven't put forth an extra special effort to get this league going, because...
But they can't. It's out of their control. Well, it's out of their control. And from Nelson, he says, I agree with Lynch. Usually, with CFL News, the public is guided down a path where you can see the end of the road. With the CFL, XFL, the pandemic, the roads are all winded, and it's impossible to form any sort of educated opinion. So the CFL leaders don't know where it's going. The government doesn't know where it's going, so they can't say. But this is daily my opinion, and I'm not going to try to snow you. I can't speak for the others in terms of getting you to buy tickets, getting you to buy merchandise, getting you to do this or that. I'm gonna go get vaccinated. I'm gonna talk to these sources and report what I'm hearing. But I'm never gonna lie. But that's just me. Next hour, Paul Laberge will join us, and Ryan McCarthy will continue the discussion going coming up after this break.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions is Saskatchewan's only full-service supply chain company.
Strategic sourcing, PO creation, and order expediting, VMI and vending solutions, and free delivery are just a few of the supply chain services we provide. If your company needs it, Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions can get it for you. Price, quality, service, Rockstar Supply Chain Solution is helping Saskatchewan companies buy better.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Our parents always taught us about the importance of quality of work and friendly service. And here at Suds Car Wash, we're a family-run business, so it's really important that our customers feel like family.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
If you could spend less time in the field, more time with your family, and make more money at the same time, would you do it? Verge's farm operations planning technology eliminates unnecessary turns, improves in-field communication, application accuracy, and reduces deadheading. Finish fields faster, burn less fuel, and use fewer inputs, all in one simple-to-use, web-based solution. Do more of what you want, when you want, with the people you love by subscribing to Launchpad by Verge today.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Now,
ta-da! I'm living proof, baby. Miracles happen.
How about that?
You laugh, Alan, but Google's bailed me out of a lot of things. I'm telling you, I had muscle cramps. It said eat walnuts, almonds, and bananas. I've been eating them like crazy. No cramps. Who needs doctors when you got Google?
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
We're diving right into the deep end of the pool here for the Hour 2 second half kickoff. Hall of Fame Saskatchewan Roughriders broadcaster John Frenzy is with me. Just ahead of our next guest, Paul Laberge, I want to read a couple of our viewers here from RGM on YouTube. And we have a lot of new viewers. Close to 50% of our viewers are American now. And so they don't know the rules. And I'll say, if you have a handle like RJM 575 or whatever, can you just put your first name? It would help. And RJM says, tuning in from Chicago. Started watching the show since the XFL CFL talk. I never tuned into anything CFL, but now I have been intrigued by everything CFL. Thanks for the coverage. And we talk about this stuff almost every day. I'm going to read some comments. We got to come back around on them a little later. So keep these in mind, Lynch. And man, are you sharp today. What the heck? Did you eat a lot of bananas and walnuts?
I did.
From CDXX on YouTube, I'm curious what the plan would be for loans on community-owned stadiums. Is that how Redbird will convince Winnipeg and Saskatchewan by paying off their stadiums? It might not actually be a bad idea.
That's a heck of a good idea.
Well, we're starting to hear, again, major conference call meeting of CFL leaders today. And I don't know when the last one was, and I sure as heck don't know what they're going to be discussing. But if any of them are upset with what we've been reporting on the CFL, XFL collaboration talks, I would say this. What did you think was going to happen when you dropped this bomb 5 weeks ago?
Now, are they?
We're going to scurry around and try and find answers, obviously, and the fans are all upset, so we're trying to give them answers. What?
Are the fans, are the executives naive or just hoping people are?
I think they think that we're naive, and we're not naive, but that's a good question. But and Dion Langevins watching in sunny Cranbrook, British Columbia, and I can tell you that it's 17 degrees Celsius there because my cousin Tammy sent me a picture from her deck overlooking the Rocky Mountains. I'm like, thanks, Tammy. We're under snow here by 2 feet, just so you know. And then she apologized, but I love her. And she loves me. She says that I'm her favorite cousin. Don't tell my other cousins.
Somebody likes you. Good.
I know. It's rare, right? How about that?
That's good.
Anyways, where did I go? Dion says, how come I cannot access the poll about the flavor of Pizza Pops? I don't know. Lynch and yeah, hit refresh, Clark is telling me in my ear to tell you. Hit refresh on your screen. Lynch and I are just the pretty faces out here. We can't answer those questions. But the poll question is, what is the best flavor of Pizza Pops? The options are pepperoni and bacon, deluxe, 3 cheese, or Hawaiian. And running away with it on Twitter and Facebook is pepperoni and bacon. Lynch, do you like Pizza Pops?
Yeah.
Of course you do. Everybody does. And what you're saying, why are you asking this? Guys, would you mind? I woke up today, and this was in my Twitter mentions. Not that. The picture. There you go. From Pizza Pops. You know what's amazing? You, Rod.
How about that, eh?
How about that? Invented and still to this day manufactured in Winnipeg, Pizza Pops. And it's not like they needed to stroke me anymore. I could eat them every day and just about do. So we'll come back on your questions. But Paul Laberge joins us, and this is going to be an interesting chat. He's a Flames fan from Lloydminster, and our mutual friend, Greg Bucky Buchanan, legendary chuck wagon racing announcer, junior hockey general manager, lined this interview up. Can you bring up Paul, guys? He's got a very inspirational walk that he's doing. How you doing, Paul?
I'm good. How are you, Rod?
Good. So I asked the guys, where are you from? And where are you? Is he on the side of the road right now? No. You've stopped your walk, am I guessing? Where are you joining us from today?
I'm in Lloydminster right now.
Okay.
The walk doesn't start till August.
Oh, well, I was going to say it's kind of cold to be walking from Saskatoon to Lloyd. Tell us your story, please, Paul.
Yeah, so my story starts back in 2014. I was living in Regina at the time. Noticed a lot of things were going on at home back here in Lloyd. I can tell Dad wasn't being himself, and I kind of heard a little bit what's going on. I heard that he was getting investigated. And so, yeah, I started waking up. I was in Regina. I started waking up. I was in tears, skipping showers and not really looking after myself. And then so finally went to the doctor. I was diagnosed with anxiety and depression. And then shortly after, because of the economy of the oil and gas, I was laid off and I was brought back to Lloyd. And then not too much longer, about a year or so later, Dad, went to jail, and it took me a while. My dad was investigated for fraud. And it took me about 7 or 8 months till I was able to go see him. I just couldn't go see my dad. I don't know. I just couldn't accept what was going on. I guess it was tough. My dad has suffered a lot with mental health as well. Growing up, he was sexually abused by the priests at Sunday school. And I didn't find this out till 2000, till I was about 24, 25 years old. My dad first tried taking his life. And that was in 2015 in June. So that's what kind of brought me more to home, I guess. And then a month after that, believe it or not, I tried taking my life. It was in July 29th. And then about 3 years later, my my dad on August 20th took his life. So we lost my dad on August 20th, 2018. I was the one who found my father. Suicide is just a numb feeling when you lose someone to that. I honestly don't know how to explain it. It's just, I don't know how to explain it. It's just a numb feeling. I just remember walking out of Dad's funeral after I did my speech, and this idea kind of came to my head that, something needs to be done with mental health. And a year later, I decided to do this walk from Saskatoon to Lloydminster to raise awareness for mental health and suicide. And honestly, to tell you the honest truth, Rod, that was probably the best thing that happened for me, for my mental health. And then the worst thing that happened for me for my mental health when the walk was done. That's the thing that I learned that helped with my PTSD, was to walk, basically abusing the body. And that's what I've been doing for the last week. I've been training for the walk, getting ready for August. Like, we walked like 50 to 60 kilometers a day. And
how far is it from Saskatoon to Lloyd? 2 hours? To drive?
Yeah, a couple hours. So it's a 2.5 hour drive, 279 kilometers. So this year we're going from Regina to Lloyd.
Whoa! Wait. So how long do you think this is going to take?
You know what? With all this, I hate to bring it up, but with the COVID, because we had a lot of interviews. So I think the first the first half of the walk, I think I can do it in 5 days, or maybe 4, but that's the thing. I do want people to pull over and to chat with me. I just don't know how it's going to work with COVID. But I'm not going to let COVID bother me. Like last year, I let it bother me. I didn't go to the highway. I did a virtual walk and it wasn't the same. So this year I just say, you know what, I'm doing it. It's for my mental health. So I think it's going to take me in total about 2 weeks to do this.
Okay. Well, you got my contact information now. I'll come out and walk with you. And if we have to walk 10 feet apart, whatever, I'll do it. So where can people follow you and contribute to what you're doing here, Paul?
Yeah, so they can follow my Facebook page, or also Libby Young's Facebook page. That's who I'm raising money for, is Libby Young. They're a mental health service here in Lloydminster. So we're trying to raise money so they can add more people to the staff, or to their staff, sorry, and also try to put money away for their long-term goal. That is getting more beds. So I have the link here. It's pretty long. So this is kind of what somewhat of the banner's going to look like.
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah. So it's fairly long. I try to do the best, but that's kind of where people can donate.
CanadaHelps.org. Okay. Yeah. We'll post all the links, Paul, after this and in the future here. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we're planning on putting that banner that you just saw right there at the back of the RV.
Okay. Well, again, keep in touch. I thank Bucky for connecting us. Good luck. We'll be in touch between now and then I'll see you out on the highway.
Sounds good. Look forward to it.
All right. Thank you, Paul. Paul Laberge joining us from Lloydminster, raising money for mental health awareness, basically. This August, walking from Regina to Lloyd. You want to come out and join us, Lynch?
I can't walk that good. You're really going to do this, eh?
Yeah, I've done it before.
I know you told me that.
I can show you pictures.
Hey, you told me that. What would it take, about a week?
Well, I'm not going the whole way with him.
You're going to go from...
I don't know. Go for as far as I feel like.
Lloydminster to Saskatoon.
Well, he's going from Regina to Lloyd.
Yeah, good luck.
William May in Lloydminster watching says that brings tears to my eyes. Yeah, that's the idea. From Hussey's Huddle. Such an inspirational guest. Way to go, man. It is. This is going to help him a ton with what he's doing. I had more questions for him, but I thought I would move on because it is a sports show. But, glad to help in any way, raise awareness for mental health, because we need to talk about it.
Seems like a great guy.
Oh, yeah. I like his smile. Yeah. And from Bucky, where's Bucky's comment? From Greg Buchanan. Thank you, Rod Pedersen, for helping with Paul Laberge and telling his story today. Greg Bucky Buchanan lined this up today. Chuck Wagon announcing legend up there in the north J-Rod's watching. You know, Jared. He says, Lynch is on fire. He must have got vaccinated.
Oh, sure I did, Jared. How about you? You been vaccinated? I'm sure you have, eh?
We were having fun with the CFL Global Draft yesterday. I don't really know how to handle this. Like, the number one pick, Jake Ford, went number one overall. And we had coverage on that. We were very respectful towards him. He thanked us for the coverage. I'm just like, blew my mind. What? Thanking us for covering? What? The world's changing weird, Lynch.
Yep.
And anyways, this youngster that we're talking about, J-Rod, texted in and he goes, he's not the first ever punter to go number one overall. Sebastian Janikowski went number one overall. No, he didn't. He went 17th overall, which is still saying something for a kicker. He's had a hell of a long career, too, by the way.
Jarrett's not a youngster.
Yeah. He's playing on house money, let's put it that way.
Have you met him?
Of course.
Yeah. Great guy. And
to our poll question, again, and they're going to flash the results up here. What is the best flavor of Pizza Pops? Mandy in Edmonton writes in, she says, has anyone else noticed the cheese in Pizza Pops isn't the same as it used to be? I could be off my rocker, but it doesn't melt like I remember. I think you're off your rocker, Mandy. I see Pizza Pops has responded, and they say all of them are the best. No. You got to pick one. Saying a democracy, it's Canada. I got to say deluxe. They say you never forget your first, Lynch. And the first Pizza Pop I ever had was a deluxe in the Milestone Hotel.
Really?
Right out of the deep fryer. And then the second one that I had was in the old Notre Dame rink in Wilcox. Remember the big rink where the Hounds used to play?
Yeah.
Just so good. You remember your first and your second Pizza Pops.
Yep.
Just reading some of the comments here from Al Hordell. What an amazing story with Paul on his family struggle with mental health. Mental health is so real and mostly hidden. Please add Paul and help with the walk. Thanks, Al. Wayne in Victoria. It's inspiring to see how Paul has gotten his life together after a tough time. Mike in Toronto, Mike Blackbird, going to need more mental health awareness after all this COVID stuff. No, we need it now, not after all this. We need it now. And by the way, when I launched this show, John, all my friends in the recovery community, mental health and substance abuse, addiction recovery, they're like, are you going to talk about recovery on there? I'm like, no, very rarely, but we will morph it from time to time. And that's what we did today with Paul Laberge, because it's obviously worthwhile to talk about, but it's not the sexiest topic in the world. It's not like The Rock.
It's a great walk if he can do it.
Yeah.
Non-stop, eh?
Yeah. Well, no. He's going to stop. From Ray in the 6. Ray in the 6 writes in. He's in the Kitchener area on the Prairie Mobile text line. He says, Rod, I find it very hard to believe the CFL will play it down in 2021. Bums in the seats is key for them. Not happening. However, the Argos have never had bums in the seats. We'll see. He says, I'm very skeptical. As am I. And Ray goes on to say, I will support Paul on his walk. So thank you, Ray. That's the whole point, just getting the word out. One more before we break here in the second half kickoff from Devin in Regina. He says there will be no CFL season for 2021. The COVID numbers combined with a complete lack of a plan. If this league wants to survive, cancel it like the NLL, or the people will get resentful and not go back on principle.
That's a good point.
I think that's what it is going to be. I think the lack of action, he said it better than I could say. And speaking of the NLL, Ryan McCarthy's coming up, right?
Yep.
Has he? Okay. Got a special guest coming up next. A very special guest from an American podcast that you're going to enjoy. A lot of cool CFL talk coming up. And NLL too. It was a great segue on that from Devin. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports talk for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com. Listen live.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Direct West provides us with stats and analytics, and it's amazing for us to look and see that, each year we're 10 to 20% higher on our Google leads. It's great to see the success that our locations are having. The Direct West app gives us an opportunity to be in one place for people to find any of our locations or our commodities. Without Direct West, we would have to be in multiple digital places. I would recommend Direct West. They're great to work with.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Capital GMC is your used car destination. We're overstocked and priced to move, so shop online or in-store to get the best deal on any one of our massive selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. Every certified vehicle includes the balance of manufacturer's warranty, 150-plus point inspection, roadside assistance, and certified exchange privilege. So save the depreciation and buy pre-owned. Capital GMC is your used car destination at the corner of Rochdale and Pasqua in Regina.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445. Hey Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Oh yeah, he's back. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
Welcome back, everybody. We got a special treat here on the Lynch, are you going to stay for lunch?
No, can't do it.
Yes, you can. It was a rhetorical question. You're staying. Pizza Pops for lunch. Dupes ran out and got these. Pizza Pops has actually jumped on our poll, and I feel like there's an association coming here between us and Pizza Pops. So give them a follow on Twitter, please, if you don't mind. Pizza Pops. And there's some consternation, some conjecture over the future of the CFL in 2021, which we'll get to in a moment. I want to bring in our good friend Ryan McCarthy. He hosts the No Credentials Required podcast down in New York State. How you doing, Ryan? No audio. So the guys just said 1 sec. We'll get on it. William May in Lloydminster says, the National Lacrosse League. One day I need to go and watch it. And even the Canadian Basketball League. So, yeah, he's talking about the NLL. Now, they say we got you now, Ryan. It was on our end, not you. We got you? Yeah, we got you. We got you, my man. How you doing?
All right. Awesome. A little rainy here in upstate New York today. Last week was in the 70s,
Fahrenheit. Now it's like 30-something degrees and rainy. So it's April in New York.
Well, I drove Lynch here today. Lynch, how far could we see in the fog? Remember?
Yeah, not very far.
Like past the hood of my car.
Yeah, not very far.
And then we drove right out of it, but we're all under snow here, Ryan, so just be happy with that. Listen, Ryan's part of the Belly Up Sports Podcast Network, and we're going to get to the reason we brought him on in a second. But Ryan, can you tell me, please, how you found us? It was easy for me to find you. How did you find us out of this vast digital sports broadcasting world?
Well, as I mentioned on our podcast when we were on together a couple weeks ago, I know you from the Canadian Football League. I listened to Saskatchewan Roughriders games back in the day when you were the broadcaster there, and our sister station, literal sister podcast, the Slapshot Sweethearts, had you guys on, and I figured, all right, I'll get on this bandwagon and have you on my podcast, and we've been kind of shirt-tail buddies since then. So
hasn't it been fun?
It's been fun. It's been fun.
I forgot that story about the Rough Riders, so thank you. And by the way, the people are writing in. The viewer Mike Blackburn in Toronto says, "You don't have pizza pops in the States? You have no idea what we've been talking about today, do you, Ryan?"
Send me some. I'll take a taste.
I think calzones basically is what it is, but you can buy them frozen. And yet, anyway, enough about that. So there was a big announcement. In Albany last night, and I was teased about it by the NLL leading up to it. And then I've received no emails or nothing from the NLL about the announcement last night. So did it actually happen?
Yes, it actually happened.
Tell us, please.
Well, the new NLL team coming up in December 2021 are the Albany FireWolves.
The Albany FireWolves. Okay, tell us the backstory and how excited you all are in that area about the Albany FireWolves coming to the NLL.
Yeah, so I watched the live stream last night on Facebook, and they explained the name in four brief contexts. One of them was the history of the Black Wolves name. They came from New England. They played in Connecticut this past season, the past couple seasons. The logo is a tribute to the old Albany Attack team that played in Albany back in 2000 and 2003. They are now currently the Vancouver Warriors. They also had a tribute to the Native American tribes that were around the area and surrounds the area, and it's just an original name. The logo's pretty cool. At first I was kind of about it, but then they explained the etymology around it, and it's a perfect name.
Okay, well, it's funny. So Christian McCarthy is watching on YouTube. He says, "Woo, Uncle Ryan, clearly you told everybody you're going to be on today, so that's awesome." Can you explain how excited the people of Albany are to have the NLL back? And you know that we're huge Rush fans here, season ticket holders. We're big NLL backers, but Albany's been without a team. Just talk about the story there, if you don't mind.
Yeah, for myself, I'm pretty excited because it's another professional sports team in Albany. They mentioned they've had season deposits coming in for the season. There's a big surrounding area. Albany is a pretty big area for lacrosse. We have our national collegiate team, Division I, the Albany Great Danes. They've been ranked in the top 25 for the last 10 years. They went to the Final Four in lacrosse a few short years ago. They're an excellent team. So the sport of lacrosse is starting to grow in this area between all the high schools and now colleges playing it. So there's a big rise in kids who are playing lacrosse, high school kids playing lacrosse, college kids playing lacrosse, and it's getting momentum. So now that we have an indoor box lacrosse team in the Albany area again, it's an exciting time.
How big's your arena, Ryan?
Times Union Center seats about 13,000.
Wow. How old is it?
It just celebrated. It's been around for 31 years. They had major renovations over the past couple of years. When our AHL affiliate left, we had the AHL Devils. They left, and they decided to renovate the arena, and it's hosted NCAA tournaments. We've had an arena football team. We have one coming back to Albany this May. So it's a pretty big area. It's a great arena.
That's pretty cool. Just before we go any further, and Lynch has a question. The viewers are asking if they can see the FireWolves logo. What would you suggest to our tech guys is the fastest place to go? NLL.com? Should they Google Albany FireWolves? What?
Yeah, they can Google Albany FireWolves. They can also look on their Twitter and Facebook accounts too.
Okay, Albany FireWolves guy. And then I'm not saying you have to. If you can find it, great, in our chat here. People want to see it, and I think that's cool. Nelson wants to know, one of our viewers, are you disappointed by the FireWolves name? Do you think they should have stuck with the tradition using the attack moniker from the old team?
Some people had a problem with that, and that's disappointing because I especially with the COVID situation, we haven't been able to go to live games at all since COVID went down. So I want people to come out, support the name, support the team, even with the name. If they're disappointed with the name, there could be some trademark issues they could have run into. Personally, my favorite of the 3 teams that were being selected up for selection was the Black Arrows. I thought that was such a cool original name. But when they announced the FireWolves, they explained everything as to why they chose that name. I'm on board. Good.
Lynch, are you okay if we switch to football now?
Sure.
Okay. Who is your favorite CFL team, Ryan?
My favorite CFL team is the Montreal Alouettes, and the reason why is because they were the originally the Baltimore Stallions, and they're the last remnant of the CFL USA from back in the early '90s. That's why I follow them. Plus, you're a 2.5-hour drive.
Yeah, but I want to point this out to our viewers. We've now got these viewers and fans all across North America. I want your take on the CFL hardcore fans that are just fighting, kicking and screaming with the merger with the XFL. You became a fan in the 90s with the U.S. expansion. I'm like, why would we turn our back on 320 million Americans when we're starving for money up here in Canada with a league that's shrinking? So since this broke, you and I have known each other since then. What's been your take on the reaction in Canada to just the simple suggestion of a collaboration?
I think the collaboration is a good idea, but I still have questions around it. I want more details, and we had the big announcement by the XFL last month about them collaborating with the CFL. Great. What are some of the details? There's been none. I say don't go into panic mode. I happen to believe that this is my speculation that it's going to be more of a marketing / talent pipeline type of partnership. That's my speculation. I wouldn't be too worried about it. I know some fans are pretty up in arms about the collaboration. I wouldn't worry too much about it, to be honest with you. But I mean, it's The Rock. He's got a brand, and if he's got some good business sense, he'll know what to do with the league.
Well, you follow this very closely. There's a lot of pundits, including myself, that are saying we are going to a merger, and they could look very similar to the 90s CFL. Would you be against that?
Not at all. Not at all. I actually was on, I'll give a brief shout out to Jason at the Puck and Pigskin podcast. We talked about that recently. And I came up with the idea of maybe if there was a merger and the XFL had teams playing in Canada, kind of switching things up, wouldn't we have an X division where we have teams playing at smaller stadiums, smaller MLS stadiums, Major League Soccer stadiums in the U.S., where they could have the field dimensions, play with Canadian rules, but also incorporate some of those XFL rules, like the conversions and the kickoff, to keep player safety at a maximum? I think that would be an ideal thing to do. And then once we have the X division and the North division, the Canadian division, we have those winners there, play for the Grey Cup and $1 million.
Or whatever it is, exactly. Frenzy, what do you got for Ryan? Anything?
How many teams are in that league that you guys are involved in, and how many are Canadian?
Which one, the NLL?
Yeah, MLL.
I think there are 13 teams in NLL, and I believe there are 3 or 4 Canadian franchises, because I know there's one in Saskatchewan, there's one in Calgary, and there's one in Vancouver. I thought there was one in Edmonton, but I couldn't remember if that was correct or not.
No, it's. I'm surprised. I'm surprised Frenzy went off the board. They just added their 14th team, which is the Fort Worth Brahmas, and there's 5 Canadian teams: Vancouver, Calgary, Saskatchewan, Toronto, Halifax. You can just ask.
Toronto, The Rock, right?
Right. Can we put up the? We have the FireWolves logo. Great job, guys. There it is. Ooh,
there it is.
Look at that.
That's hot. Woo-hoo. The Albany FireWolves.
That's good.
That's scorching. Talking some NLL lacrosse here. Don McCarthy watching. How many family members you got? He says, "Go, Rye."
He's watching. They're everywhere.
They're everywhere, obviously.
That's my dad. That's my dad. He's watching.
Oh, is it? Okay. Hey, Don. Thanks for watching. Nelson, our VP of Sim Events, says, "Hey, future CFL fan of the New York Guardians. Have you ever attended a Guardians game? Have you been to an XFL game, Ryan?
I wanted to go before the pandemic. I was actually in school at the time. I was completing my bachelor's degree, and I wanted to go down, but unfortunately with COVID striking and basically killing the league, I wasn't able to go down to a game. But if once they open things up again in 2023, I would love to go to MetLife Stadium and attend a game there.
Okay, good. Hey, anything else? Yeah, Frenzy's got something.
Is the feeling really good towards the league?
Towards the XFL or the CFL?
Both teams, XFL and CFL. Are they enthused about this idea happening? Of us joining together and everything else?
I think there is, but I just want more detail. I just want some stuff to come out from either the CFL, from Randy Ambrosi, or from Danny Garcia and Redbird Capital. I want details. I think any fan would. I think I'm excited personally because I like both leagues. But I would love to see, like I said, I would love to see more details come out as to what this partnership would look like. And I think the more details fans have, the more excitement there will be, the less skepticism there will be.
All right, sounds good. There's one more from Christian McCarthy. Hey, Grandpa. So I thought I would point that out. Or did we already read one from Christian? I can't remember. So McCarthy's all over the place here. Do you know a Charlie McCarthy?
That's my other nephew. That's my other nephew.
Ryan, I know time is limited. We will let you go. Thanks for coming on. Let's do it again soon.
Absolutely, Rod. Thanks again. Appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. From the No Credentials Required podcast, Ryan McCarthy joining us from Western New York.
Very interesting guy.
Very interesting guy. By the way, the Hockey Club podcast watching in Tallahassee, Florida says, I think Frenzy was going to try and make a point of a successful league in Canada and the U.S. No, the Hockey Club in Tallahassee, Florida. You're giving him... No. Is that what the point you were trying to make, Lynch?
Yeah, it's okay.
No, you weren't.
That's quite a story there. I didn't realize that. Every day I hear more about this probable collaboration together. Looks like it's a distinct possibility. Every day we don't get anything from the CFL. Makes it certain we're going to do something. And I think there will be more and more chance about getting together with the Rock. I think could happen. And I don't know how many teams it would be. It would be 12 or 18 or all 9 of the current CFL teams. Would they want to go? I don't know. Hard to say. The Riders would want to go. They are definitely a candidate other way, don't you think?
To not merge?
To merge.
Well, supposedly, the more and more details that are unveiled internally, Lynch, in the CFL, the more teams are on board with it.
Yeah.
And I think for all the reasons that I see. But let me say this, just before I let you go, John. Everybody says they want more details. And for goodness sakes, it's one thing for the players to ask. Or sorry, the fans. But what about the players? What do you think the CFL leaders could have done differently in the last 6 months here than what they've done?
Been more out there, marketing more, been out there, talking to people. That's the biggest thing. You got to talk to people, and particularly the players. They've got to have more liaison with the players. I mean, the players are frustrated. It's really worse than the fans, and it's not right. You don't treat your clients like that. That's what I would call them, their clients. These guys want to know what their future's in. Can they play football much longer? Can they have an income that's worthwhile? They want to know, and they're not getting answers. So what's the reaction? You're going to say, the heck with it and quit. I hope that doesn't happen. So it should have been more contact with the probable teams and the media. I'm sorry, and the rest, the fans.
Yep.
Marketing it better, and that's what you got to do. They haven't done it. We've all been clamoring for that. And we haven't heard a thing.
And it is turning people off.
Yeah.
Okay, Frenzy, have a great weekend.
We will. See you.
John Frenzy, of course, his appearances are brought to you by Wheaton Kia, and you can find them at the corner of Albert and Avonhurst in North Regina. I have to get a gratuitous Pizza Pop shot. The stills. There you go. Because that's what this show was all about. Point at it. There. Pizza Pops. Hey, Joe. There's the wave. We love Pizza Pops here. It's our poll question. And we'll be back with a sports update. Moose DuPont, we got a lot of business to take care of, and it starts next. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus Television, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports talk streaming at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed. Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Capital GMC is your used car destination. We're overstocked and priced to move, so shop online or in-store to get the best deal on any one of our massive selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. Every certified vehicle includes the balance of manufacturer's warranty, 150 plus point inspection, roadside assistance, and certified exchange privilege. So save the depreciation and buy pre-owned. Capital GMC is your used car destination at the corner of Rochdale and Pasqua in Regina.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Introducing Original 16 Hard Seltzer. The refreshing taste of delicious peach with vodka made in Saskatchewan. New hard seltzers from Original 16.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Working with my family has been great. My mom and dad have taught us the importance of hard work. I've been here since I was 10 years old, and my dad has taught me a lot about quality work.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Laid back and kicking it. Let's head back to the studio. Here's Rod.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Thank you. Just ahead of a sports update, Moose DuPont joins us here. And I got my pizza pops, and Director Jordan has written in and said, today I can't help but think about Troy Westwood saying, I don't eat pizza pops, bruh, on the show. Well, doesn't that tell you all you need to know about Troy Westwood? And I got a lot of blowback from Winnipeggers that were not on Game Plus this week. And I'll say it again to you guys. It's a good thing.
Oh, yeah.
The heat and the pushback and the hate mail is a good thing, guys. People are upset that we've been preempted on Game Plus because of an esports gaming tournament. So it'll happen again at some point. But the fact is, people are watching and they're used to it on their televisions. I had I'll give you one. One guy said to me, I just found you. And now you're not on?
I know. It's what we've been trying to tell the sports teams and leagues on this platform too. And we all get so scared of some negative
I know, exactly.
pushback.
We're not changing a damn thing.
The negativity is good because it means people care.
Yes.
If they don't care and they're leaving your product, they're not going to bother to tell you suck on the way out the door. They're just going to leave. They're telling you suck because they want you to say, no, come back. We want you. They want you to be good. They want you to be all these great things. And then when they're mad, when you finally have success and we are back, they're going to celebrate. They're going to dig in that much more.
Yeah.
It's a winning recipe.
So it's okay that the people are upset we're not on Game Plus. It's not okay that we're not on Game Plus, but
that's right.
We'll be back on Monday on national television. For now, we're here. From Brady, whom we haven't heard from enough. He says, Rod is sponsored by Pizza Pops. This show's going places. I've been lucky enough to have seen the growth of this show over the course of almost 3 years. I know, Brady, you're huge for us. Huge for us. And I'm so glad that we were able to meet him in Saskatoon at a
Rush game.
Yeah. I can never remember if it's Rush or Rattlers or Blades.
I think it was Rush.
People have been talking a lot about, is Regina going to get an NLL team or a CEBL team? And I'm like, I don't want it because I like my road trips up there so much.
I know.
Right? I don't know. It's a thing. Clark says, make it clear that they are not currently a sponsor, but we want to change that wholeheartedly. Let's get into the business. Stephen Motts aims to keep up his bounce-back season when he starts for the Toronto Blue Jays at Kansas City today against the Royals. The Royals took the series opener last night, 7-5. The injury-riddled Raptors are hosting the Orlando Magic tonight in one of 11 NBA games. DeAndre Membry, Gary Trent Jr., and Kyle Lowry are all day-to-day and uncertain to dress. I'll say something about these athletes, like Gary Trent Jr. I don't know if you watched the game the other night. He was wearing a tuxedo top, flowered, crushed velvet with no shirt. And he looked like $1 million.
Of course.
Like no shirt.
Of course.
Shades inside. Man, they can pull it off. The NHL has postponed tonight's game between the Vancouver Canucks and visiting Edmonton Oilers. The Canucks say some players need more time to recover from a COVID-19 outbreak that has swept through the team. GM Jim Benning said in a statement yesterday that certain players have cleared the medical evaluations that need to pass before returning to the ice, but many others have not been cleared and need more time to recover. The Montreal Canadiens welcome the Calgary Flames tonight in a matchup that could help determine playoff spots. Calgary seeks to keep its 3-game win streak alive and move that much closer to Montreal for the final playoff spot in the North. The Canadiens are 4 points up on the Flames. Two clubs will meet 4 times, over the next 12 days. Playoffs are on, Dupes. Did you know?
Oh, yeah.
Canada's Brooke Henderson has put herself in contention for a three-peat at the Lot Championship. The native of Smith Falls, Ontario, is sitting 9th at 8 under after back-to-back 68s, putting her 6 shots behind leader Lydia Ko with 2 rounds to go in Hawaii. I want to say something about sports, by the way. You know this. I wonder sometimes how much the teams do.
Yep.
I'm so much following Brooke Henderson in the LPGA now because guess why? They were here. We went to the CP Women's Open at Wascana Country Club, as Brooke said, and watched them all. Natalie Gulbis, Alina Sharp, Brooke Henderson. It was so big time. And now I'm following it. Sample the product. Take it to the people. Make them feel valued.
Oh, yeah.
Why is that so hard for people to understand in sports these days?
Costco's figured it out.
Yeah, samples.
Yeah.
Except you can't do it.
The team's figured it out.
How about those poor saps that stand there and can't sample anything?
They're doing that now, yeah.
I know. I'm talking about at Costco. You go there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they're there with their shields over their face, gloves on, samples out, and then they're not allowed to give them away. And I'm like, I literally said this to them one day. How's your life going? How do you think it's going?
I got that
They're
answer. Not smoking in Costco, but they might as well be because that's kind of the
right. How do you think it's going, bub?
Yeah. What do you think, huh?
That was the response.
Are you going to buy the pepperoni or not?
They're like, don't ask stupid questions like that.
Yeah. I can't tell you what the sauce tastes like, but are you going to buy the 2-pack or not?
How do you think it's going?
Move along.
Craig Campbell, Hockey Hall of Fame. Pedersen picks Pizza Pops. Aside from being informative and entertaining, you're also friendly and welcoming. Good Canadians. Not all Canadians are that way, but we are. From Pinks, how about on Tuesdays you have Pedersen's Pizza Pop picks for hockey games? Do you have a bug in the studio?
Yeah.
We were just talking about that. I'm not done yet, by the way. Cameron Smith birdied the difficult 17th and 18th holes at Harbour Town to shoot a 9-under 62 Thursday and take a one-shot lead over Stuart Sink into round 2 today at the RBC Heritage in South Carolina. This sports update for dubnetwork.ca, your number one source for Western Hockey League breaking news and analysis. Visit today, dubnetwork.ca. And for Ben Cahoon's G2G protein bars, now with 8 amazing flavors, including the new almond mocha. RP Show viewers get 20% off with the promo code RP Show. Order yours now at g2gbars.ca. Ba-dum-bum. I said we got a lot of business to take care of. Let's do the business of the week right now. Bum, 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 bum. Here we go. Business of the week from MySask 411. It is, the business of the week is Kehoe RV in Saskatoon. Proudly serving Saskatoon and surrounding communities for over 45 years. They are your one-stop solution for all your recreational vehicle needs. Visit KehoeRV.com for simplified RV shopping and guaranteed satisfaction. They are proud members of the MySask 411 business community. We're connecting Saskatchewan business, so I guess it's time, right? It's time to start planning your summer. Time to start thinking about purchasing your RVs. Kehoe RV is the place to go in Saskatoon, our MySask 411 business of the week. We'll be right back with Viewer Takeover. We got to talk about Landmark Cinemas and get something to face off about when we come back. You people, why don't you tell us what to face off about when we come back? Quick hands back there. Good work, Jordan. We'll be right back as we wrap up this week with Overtime on the RP Show on Game Plus TV Network, YouTube, and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports talk streaming at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar Buying Group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Capital Ford Lincoln is your used car destination. We're overstocked and priced to move, so shop online or in-store to get the best deal on any one of our massive selection of pre-owned vehicles. Every pre-owned vehicle at Capital Ford must pass a thorough inspection, ensuring that your buying experience is quick, easy, worry-free, and just like new. So save the depreciation and buy pre-owned. Capital Ford Lincoln is your used car destination. 1201 Pasqua Street North in Regina.
IKS Live. IKS Live. Western Canada's premier production services company. LED sign rentals. Video production. Event management. Look no further than IKS Live. Visit our website. IKS Live. Always the best seat in the house. IKS Live.
If you could spend less time in the field, more time with your family, and make more money at the same time, Would you do it? Verge's farm operations planning technology eliminates unnecessary turns, improves in-field communication, application accuracy, and reduces deadheading. Finish fields faster, burn less fuel, and use fewer inputs, all in one simple-to-use, web-based solution. Do more of what you want, when you want, with the people you love by subscribing to Launchpad by Verge today.
This right here is time well spent. Why not pour yourself a smooth Saskatchewan-made Original 16? Warm up to the opportunity to seize the day.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
You got something to say? You want to add to the show? What are you waiting for? Don't just sit there. Say something. Now, back to the studio with Rod.
Welcome back, everybody. So much to get to. I think we can do it all in 6 minutes. Dick Gibson watching from Lethbridge, Vegas. He's the former public address announcer of the Lethbridge Hurricanes. Right, Dick? He says, as a teenager a few decades ago, I hitchhiked from Burlington into Hamilton to watch CFL at the old Iverwin Stadium and sit in the $5 seats in the end zone. Attended Ottawa Rough Rider games at Lansdowne Park and returned to see the first home game of the Red Blacks years later. Now that's a fan.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be interesting to see where the CFL stuff goes over the weekend, CFL, XFL, particularly what comes out of this leaders meeting today we're told they're having. We got to do a curling report. We didn't do that. The reigning national women's and men's champions are off to winning starts at the 2021 Grand Slam of Curling. Carrie Anerson's Manitoba rink and Brendan Botcher's Alberta team both went 2-0 on opening day of the Humpties Champions Cup on Thursday. Anerson downed Ontario's Rachel Homan 6-3 in the opening draw, then toppled American Tabitha Peterson 9-2. Botcher beat Yannick Schwaller of Switzerland 6-4 and Toronto's John Epping 9-2. Sweden's Nicholas Eden, who captured the men's world championship on Sunday, lost 6-2 to Alberta's Kevin Cooey, but rebounded in the evening draw with a 7-1 win over Jason Gunlason, who was 0-2, with an 8-3 loss to Epping earlier in the day. Scotland's Bruce Mowat and Newfoundland and Labrador's Brad Gushu also posted wins in their opening games on the men's side, while Manitoba's Tracy Fleury and Scotland's Eve Muirhead were victorious on the women's side. The event is the first of two Grand Slams at Winsports Mark and McPhail Centre, who already has hosted the Canadian Men's, Women's, and Mixed Doubles Championships, as well as the Men's World Championship. The Curling Report is for Verge Agriculture, helping farmers plan and optimize their operations across every field. Try Verge's Precision Farm Tech software for free today at vergeag.com. Before we move into our next sponsored read, I got to throw this out for Brady. My man Brady. I'll be ordering some pizza pops on the Walmart order this weekend, inspired by the Rod Pedersen Show. We need to see a partnership between Pillsbury and Rod Pedersen very soon. How about that?
How about that?
that?
Brady, we'll ship you some pizza pops for free.
If we get the sponsorship.
Good try, though. Hey, he's working it.
Yes.
Working it.
Oh, yeah.
Landmark Cinemas. Here's the irony of Landmark Cinemas and our newest partnership. We can't even go to a movie here in the sweatpants capital.
No, we can't.
Because the movie theaters are locked down.
Yeah.
But new in theaters, for those of you that can go to theaters, Landmark Cinemas, is Mortal Kombat. How excited was the Rod Squad back here on the fact that Mortal Kombat is, I think they're planning a roadie to a theater that is open that you can go watch Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, sneak out of the city. I don't know if you're supposed to leave, but they're open in surrounding cities for sure. I remember the old one was unbelievable. I hope the new one's just as good. The new Mortal Kombat. I'm looking forward to it.
That's all we got to say about that? That's all we have to say?
Yeah, well, promote that it's on.
No reviews, you said, right?
Yeah, let us know how it is if you go watch Mortal Kombat.
Oh, we'll retweet your reviews.
There you go.
Can you get your reviews in 140 characters? We'll retweet it. How about that? That would be great with Landmark Cinemas. Thank you, Rick Regan. And Landmark Cinemas and Mortal Kombat. You can tell my mind's leaving me. I'm thinking about Pizza Pops.
We'll get
you were
those.
supposed to. You said you
I
were
know,
gonna
but
cook
I didn't know
these.
John was late. I was going to do them last segment, but I was sitting in here. We'll go and cook
You're
them
going
right
to have
after.
these cooked. Yeah. I say to my wife quite often, I could eat Pizza Pops every day.
Ugh.
And she says, so could I. And I try not to. What are we facing off here? I didn't write down tonight's Dub Hub games. I was a little out of it today. Checked out mentally.
Do you have one? A face-off?
No.
Okay, well, I was thinking this would have been the great poll question, and we can save it for a poll question next week. But what's topical, and I brought it up this morning, is it's a question going around on social media. Farhan put out that list, right, of an athlete who, if you could grant them an injury-free career, who would you grant an injury-free career? Like Bobby Orr, his knees never went on him. Who would you give it to? If you had one to give out, it has to be a sports-related injury. It has to be career. So like a guy who got in a car accident,
okay.
that doesn't count.
Because my mind immediately went there.
Right.
And I'm not going to mention.
Right. You don't want to go
players.
there.
Yeah, a sports.
So Bobby Orr, Mario Lemieux with his back.
Joe Theismann.
Yeah. Oh, man, there's so many that come up. Bo Jackson comes to mind. For me, there's two. Eric Lindros, because he redefined the power forward. And
Concussions, right?
Yeah. I think Eric Lindros would be considered up there among the all-time greats. I mean, I think he's still a Hall of Famer for how he changed the game. And then the other one for me is Tiger Woods. Now, I know the car acts like that, but his back problems, I think he'd have been gunning down Jack. That was in his prime, right, that he got derailed in that. So me, Tiger Woods, and Eric Lindros.
That's very good. And you sprung this on me in the morning meeting, and of course I spent no
time
2
thinking about
seconds
it.
thinking about it, so
Yeah.
I haven't. And you don't. That's what is so tragic about injuries. It's what's so tragic about COVID is careers are ending, and nobody will remember those guys and gals whose careers are over because you remember those whose careers were sustained.
Yeah.
You don't really think about the tragic injuries.
Farhan mentioned Travis Lulay. Buck Pierce comes to mind in that sense, injury-wise. The concussions.
Well, most guys have injuries. Most guys have surgeries. Like I'm talking about.
But who's
career-ending injuries?
Yeah, and who's on the trajectory to be an all-time great and boom, derailed? They had 3, 4, 5 good years, maybe even 10.
Eddie Lack.
There you go.
Eddie Lack's career was ended because of bad hips.
Yeah.
He's been on this show talking about it. Mine's Eddie Lack.
Yeah, that's good.
I know he's not in the Tiger Woods, Eric Lindros vein, but
no, that's good.
He could have been.
Yeah.
If it not for his damn hips.
Absolutely.
The face-off is always brought to you by the Mad Greek in Moose Jaw, available for licensed dining, takeout, or delivery. Head to the madgreekeatery.com for more information. And for UFZ Moose Jaw, UFZ is your one-stop shop for the sports fans on your list. Visit the Man Cave, downtown Moose Jaw, or on Facebook. And that's it. We are out of time. Coming up on Monday, Rich Sutter of the Columbus Blue Jackets right here in the bunker. I hope that he has the kind of reaction that all of our guests that come in here do have when they just go, oh. And I think he will.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's a sports guy.
Well, and we'll make sure it's primed and proper, and we'll lay out the red carpet treatment for him.
Enjoy the sports this weekend. Pinks is saying Andrew Luck. Chuba Hubbard says Mario for sure. Craig Campbell says Bobby Orr. Wayne Grollo saying Bobby Orr. So we sprung that a little late. I'm sticking with Eddie Lack. Clear the track. See you Monday, everybody. Have a good weekend. We'll be back here on Game Plus.
Good shot.
He felt sorry for Mike Riley last night. Walking off the field, he looked so disappointed.
The show's over, Lynch.
And hurt. Oh, is it? Okay.
Stop talking football.
Oh.